Huh Yunjin is out with another single. As you know, I'm a huge fan of her music. I love her songwriting and her composition. I don't know if she helped in producing this one, but I do know that in this video, she actually did the artwork. I think this is a very unique positioning that she's creating for herself, and I hope that she succeeds. But for now, let's react to her new single. Start.
A spotless bedroom, spends quiet nights, Pilates mornings, and she's good with wine. She wakes at the right time.
So this is so I understand that this is her artwork, but first on the musicality, very laid back. The I not equals doll is very painful from the very beginning. There's a lot of angst in her voice, and here it shows you her range, how she can actually project her voice to give off different types of emotions. So if it was painful with I not equals doll, this one she's very laid back. Um, but if I know her as an artist, I would expect some dimensions and some like a twist, a plot twist in this entire thing. And also interesting that she actually used just a
It's the
guitar.
right vibe. She's funny, but never too much. Mysterious, but always in touch.
So I also like how she doesn't stick with the measure. She would introduce new measures within her song, within the same stanza. So in the beginning, it's pretty much the same BPM, I would say. Okay, so see,
And she's good with wine. She wakes at the right time. It's
so
the
this
right
is the same
vibe.
rhythm,
She's funny, but never too much.
and
Mysterious,
then
but
here,
always in
so
touch.
then she extends her. So it shows you, and she extends the line, so it's a different, yeah, it's a different measure basically. So it shows you just how her ability to make things unpredictable. Okay, but still just one instrument. Well, there's percussion, but
I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Do you see her? Won't you ride?
so she changed her melody and she changed the range of her. Um, she put it in a higher note, but the music, the beat, and the instrument is still the same. Okay, interesting.
Touch marble instead of limestone. All I wish to be is someone deserving of the comfort that you bring. 'Cause deep inside I wanna be her. She takes the hit but never shows you where it hurts. Bathes you in spring sunshine. Wipes tears dry.
So it's the same. So the same person. The two characters are actually the same. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Um, it's the same beat. She just added a couple of instruments. Also, she's talking singing. So it's almost like she's reciting poetry, basically. It's like she's writing a letter and she's just putting some melody in it. Which, so I know that this is a song for Fear Nots. So maybe that's the approach that she's taking. It's like a letter to Fear Nots. And the song seems to be about that. She's talking about how she just wants to be that girl that people see in her. Okay.
And says I love you twice. Seasons change, say you'll stay the same. 봄가을 겨울도 my way, look your way. Say okay, I'm okay. 꽃이 녹아도 넌 피어나도록. In 7 years time I'll look back and
Does the crayon have any relevance to Fear Nots? Because it's a major element in her art.
Why was I such a mess? Unable to.
And it's interesting that you reference in 7 years' time because that's when the contract expires usually. So she's going to look back at it, maybe, at the cusp of making a decision on whether she's going to renew or not. She will then be forced to look back at who she was and, the kind of life she was living in the early stages of her career.
날마다 불어내 내 마음이 무대 위선 처음 내려와서 녹지 난 몰래 애써 장착해 the red carpet에 착착난 같지만 나름 진지해진 대화 거울 속에 넣은 명작이 초상화 내 말에 사진무해지겠지만 널 잃을까봐 두려워.
This is an entirely different, the second half is entirely different from the first half. So this is supposed to be, this part is not a copy of any part in the first half of the song before the chorus. She's really showing her range. I think if there's, but anyway, after the song, I'll okay.
No matter what you say, can your eyes please stay on me? 빛바래도 제일 빛난다고 해줘. 'Cause
I think so on this part, I think she's trying to project that kind of panic that you feel when you're actually when you're scared of something. Because she would go from, if you observe, she would go from mellow to just talking to actually like blurting out the words as almost as if she's rapping. And even her, so she would go high, low, high, low, high, low, and then she sustain it low. So she's that in one and in one part of the song, she has communicated. She has perfectly mirrored the emotions of someone who's in panic, who's someone who's actually in fear, but without deviating from the relaxed, chill kind of vibe in the song. So with that, she was able to communicate the panic and the fear, but she managed to keep the same level, the same kind of, it's still chill. So it doesn't feel like you're listening to two different songs. But if you actually listen to it through the melody, it keeps on changing. It's not as easy as you think to create something like this, because the songs sound so easy, but it's not easy to create something like this without making it sound as if you're actually writing or playing two different songs.
Why was I such a mess? Unable to relax. 날마다 불어내 내 마음이 무대 위선 처음 내려와서 녹지 난 몰래 애써 장착해 the red carpet에 착착난 같지만 나름 진지해진
Different.
대화
So this is different. Previous one was different. And then this is different.
No matter what you say, can your eyes please stay on me? 빛바래도 제일 빛난다고 해줘. 'Cause deep inside I wanna be her.
And then this is different. This is different. Her chorus here is different from her previous chorus.
Wipes tears dry and says I love you twice. Seasons change, say you'll stay the same. 'Cause I love you.
What's with the crayons?
Say okay.
I mean, unless I understand how it plays in the video. What I'm interested in is if it actually has some, a point of reference when it comes to Fear Nots. Okay, let's continue.
Love you twice.
Oh, okay. So I think from everything that I've already said, the one thing I would probably want to improve on, I wish she could improve on, would be the progression of her narrative. So she does have a talent for poetry, and she can say one thing in 100 different ways and make each line sound different from the other. But I wish she would also progress the narrative, like the story of what she's saying. So she was able to progress it in terms of the beat, in terms of the melody, in terms of the sound and the tonality. But the base narrative is the same in the first and the second half. She just said it. She said the same thing two different ways. Okay, but that's just a preference for me. Maybe this is intentional. That's just the kind of writer that she is. So it's just, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and then the other thing is that I think she could really position herself to be both a visual artist, like a painter, and a singer. If she manages to do this, she not only would she be able to earn a lot of money from selling her art, but she can actually change. Really, she can change the industry. I can see her doing major artworks and major brands and major partnerships with different brands using her art. And I think that she's also just discovering her different style, because this style is kind of different from the style that she used in I Not Equal Doll. So yeah, I think she's definitely an artist. I mean, and a multifaceted one. And I hope that she can nurture all her talents and she can grow. I've said this before. I think in terms of there's so many competition among fourth gen girl group, but I hope that I think, you know, maybe the competition in terms of commercial success is closer, but I think in terms of creative superiority, I think she will definitely lead the pack. And I hope that Source Music and Hybe continue nurturing her. That's it. If you have any requests for a reaction, let me know. Leave them in the comment section below, or get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. And also share the video if you can. Thank you.